Welcome to my weekly self-important Magic the Gathering show. This one's being recorded the day of, and thus going up late. Jeez, as soon as I start talking. I am post-viral, but still got the cough. It shouldn't be as gross. Oh, I forgot to turn on my music. Let me find that. Did I hide? Yep, I hit it over here. Make sure my personal volume is down. This is at the very end of a song, so we're probably going to get an ad, so I'm going to hold on to... No, okay. This YouTube station that I think I keep in all of my descriptions from now on hasn't tried to hit me with anything, so that's good. It is. They said it was public domain. It's courtesy of YouTube's audio library, so this is probably just, so it probably will never. It's 334 songs though, so that's cool. Like, they're not very long. None of them. Like 3.5 minutes is like in the neighborhood of the longest one I've seen. But anyway, I'm not even going to mute my coughs anymore unless I start hacking. Anyway, this is probably the final week of the Doctor Who stuff. This deck is the 9th, 10th, or 11th Doctor. It don't hurt to cough, it's just really annoying. So, let's go through the Doctors first, and then we'll come back for everything else. The 9th Doctor... Christopher Eccleston, I think his name is. I feel bad for him. Because to me, he doesn't look like Doctor Who, he looks like James Bond. He looks like he's way too cool of a guy to be the Doctor. But he did a fine job. It's just funny that he doesn't look nerdy enough. He looks too action hero to me. It's kind of funny. He has haste, so that's sweet. Whenever the 9th Doctor becomes untapped during your turn... Oh, during your untap step. Okay. You get an additional upkeep step after this step. So you go... Untap, upkeep, draw. If he's tapped. So that's probably important. Then the 11th, because they're in alphabetical order. I am talking. Nobody who's human gets to talk to me today. Whenever the 11th Doctor deals combat damage to a player, you may exile a card from your hand with a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. And then you can pay 2 to have target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. And, hey, look, he's power 3 or less. So you're not looking to do lethal commander damage with him unless you don't care about that particular set of unblockability. You're just doing it to put something into suspend. Suspend, for the record, is that it's in exile with time counters on it, and on your upkeep you remove a time counter. When you've removed the last time counter, you can cast the spell without paying its mana cost. So now we go down to the 10th Doctor. Oh, look, it's Crowley, or Crowley, from Good Omens. Alonzi. Or Alonzi. Whenever you attack, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Put 3 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Okay, so those lands stay exiled. So you gotta be careful with that. Tamiwami, pay 7 generic. Time travel 3 times. Time traveling, I don't... Let's see if this explains it, because I know when you time travel, you can either put time counters on or take time counters off of permanents you control or cards you own with suspend. For each suspended card you own and each permanent you control with time counters on it, you may add or remove 1 time counter. 3 times because it's 3 times. I don't think any card with communal upkeep has a time counter. I think those are specifically age counters. So now we close this. Okay, hold on. Consider setting deck tags. I have deck tags. Look at these. I even have unique deck tags. Let's check on Rose Tyler that's making this a Jeskai deck. Rose Tyler gets +1/+1 for each time counter on it. When Rose Tyler attacks, put a time counter on her for each suspended card you own and each other permanent you control with a time counter on it. So she does not work with the 9th Doctor, which is fine. The 9th Doctor was just the lowest numbered Doctor, and that's why they are in the command zone. Now, you remove time counters during your upkeep phase, so he does have a use. My rear end hurts because my seat is not very comfortable, sadly. It needs to be fluffed.
Paramount Plus and more streaming channels to watch.
Ding. But, you know, yeah, so he works in the deck. It's just that he's probably not the best commander unless there's another but I don't think I have another white mana Doctor's Companion in this deck, and it looks like I'm right. Yeah. So he's kind of just up there because he's the lowest number Doctor. So now we go over here to Rory Williams. It's funny that they have him in his Centurion outfit and call him a human soldier. I don't remember when he first puts that on, but I remember later in the show when he's dressed as a Centurion, he's an Auton duplicate of himself. So he is partnered with Amy Pond, which means they could be the commander of their own deck, or of this deck if they felt like it. But with them not as the commander, when you cast one, I think it's cast. Is it cast or enters? Okay, it doesn't. Okay, it's an enters ability. So when Rory enters, you or someone on your team can tutor any pawn from their deck to their hand. So he's a 2-mana 3/3 with first strike and lifelink. Let's see what the last Centurion downside is. When you cast a spell from anywhere other than exile, he delays all of your other spells. When you cast this spell from anywhere other than exile it with 3 time counters on it. It gains suspend, then investigate. Although, due to a recent rules change to suspend, you are no longer required to cast the suspending card as a second triggered ability if suspend resolves. Instead, as a second ability resolves, you may cast the card. Timing permissions based on the card's type are ignored. If you don't cast the card, it remains exiled with no time counters on it and is no longer suspended. I don't know what that means because I don't understand suspend, I guess. Amy Pond, partner with Rory Williams. That's the Pandorica back there, for the record, that's funny. Whenever Amy Pond deals combat damage to a player, choose a suspended card you own and remove that many time counters from it. Oh, that's neat. And because she has Doctor as a companion, you can go Amy Pond and the 11th Doctor, or 10th Doctor with Rose Tyler, which is funny, because Rose Tyler was with the 9th Doctor, but I don't see, because I don't actually get to watch the shows all that often, or ever, so I don't remember if the 10th Doctor actually got to spend time with Rose. So that's the other reason, is that they're canonically Doctor and specific companion. And then we have the Flaming Tyrannosaurus. It's been a while. I guess it's been a week. So we'll go over this one again. 7 mana for a 5/5 Menace Dinosaur. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Flaming Tyrannosaurus lightning bolts something, and then gets a +1/+1 counter. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So that's neat, because this deck is making you suspend stuff because you feel like it. So this is probably low bracket nonsense. Flesh Duplicate has Vanishing, and I think Vanishing counts as time counters. Otherwise. So this is a 2-mana clone with Vanishing 3. And it's a clone that can copy anything on the battlefield. It does not trick Legendary rule, which is funny. It really should. Considering the episode, but whatever. They probably didn't want to make it too good for the 2 blue pips. Then, oh dang it! Then we have Idrisil the TARDIS. It goes into copy, or I think it put itself here, and I do not feel like. We're gonna put the Auton Soldier over here. It's 6 mana, makes it an artifact in addition to its other types, and also de-legendaries it, and has Myriad. So that's all cool. Vanishing 3. So we're kind of taking advantage of our potential to time travel. So 10th Doctor probably is the better commander. Just looking at some of these first cards. And I just realized Bad Wolf is pretty amazing. When she attacks, because I'm going to reread it again, Put a time counter on her for each suspended card you own and each other permanent you control with a time counter on it. Vanishing 3. When Idrisil the TARDIS enters the battlefield, exile another artifact you control until Idris leaves the battlefield. She has all activated and triggered abilities of the exiled card, and gets +X until end of turn, where that's the exiled artifact's mana value. I don't know how many like good artifacts we have for that. Like, there's the Auton Soldier, because it doesn't say it doesn't say non-creature, but I think she might automatically die because it's base 0/0. Because then I don't think you automatically copy what it's copying. Then we have Adamantium Bonding Tank, which is actually the Uzolith, which holds on to counters for us. So if something with time counters on it dies or is put in exile, those time counters can go here. And unless something has Vanishing or Suspend, you don't remove time counters from it.
New me?
Gall, darn it.
But how about new year, new money? With Experian, you can actually take control of your finances. Check your FICO score, find ways to save, and get matched with
Okay, that was another ad pretty soon after the last one. Maybe we've had more ads and I just haven't noticed them. Good old TARDIS again. It's a flying 2/4 vehicle, crew 2. When the TARDIS attacks, if you control a Time Lord, the next spell you cast has Cascade, so that's another casting from anywhere other than your hand. And then Planeswalk don't matter if you ain't playing Chase. Wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey. Oh, time travel. This one has the reminder text. And then draw a card. Ecstatic Beauty. This is a card with Suspend. Oh, get out of my body. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play those cards until the end of turn. Put 4 time counters on each of those cards that has Suspend. And then suspend 4 for a red, so you can kind of just put it... I like suspending it for 4. For one red. Because by the time it goes off, you'll actually have mana. For Nox, Vanishing 4 at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, draw a card. So if you can put more time counters on it and keep it from vanishing, it's better than Phyrexian Arena. Just saying. Sibylline Soothsayer. When they enter, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card with mana value 3 or greater. Exile that card with 3 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. Put the rest of the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in random order. Oh, Neato Skeeto. The Wedding of River Song. Draw 2 cards. Then you may exile a non-land card from your hand with a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. Then target opponent does the same. Oh, interesting. Cards exiled this way that don't have Suspend gain Suspend. Oh, and then we time travel so we can remove one immediately. I also see that I haven't put a whole lot of stuff not from Doctor Who in this deck. We have the Bonding Tank and some stuff later. Wilfred Mott. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on Wilfred Mott. Then look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of time counters on Wilfred Mott. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. He's cool as heck. Inspiring Refrain. Draw 2 cards, and then exile it with 3 time counters on it. And you can also just suspend it for 3. Oh, that is so obnoxious. Time Beetle. It has Skulk, so it cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. Drinking something to see if I can hydrate my throat a bit. Whenever Time Beetle deals combat damage to a player, time travel. Sweet. Dreamtide Whale, Vanishing 2. It's the 7/5 for 2. Oh, the 7/5 for 3 with Vanishing 2. But whenever a player casts their second spell, each turn proliferate. So Time Whale's here to put time counters on our stuff with Vanishing or Wilfred and Rose. Flux Channeler. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, proliferate. I'm sure there's plenty of non-creature spells in this deck for that to matter. Lulu, Stern Guardian. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking you. Put a stun counter on that creature. Oh, that's funny. But we can also pay 4 to proliferate. 3 in the blue. Sword of Truth and Justice. Equipped creature has +2/+2 and protection from white and blue. When an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, then proliferate. All of History, all at once, time travel, storm. So you can time travel a number of times equals the number of spells cast that turn. And it counts everybody's spells, am I right? Spells cast from zones other than a hand, and spells that were countered are counted by storm. Yeah, I think it's everybody's. Protection, Canine Mark 1. When it's untapped, your other legendary creatures have Ward 1. But you can also pay 1 under blue and tap to make target legendary creature unblockable. Lightning Greaves, that's Haste and Shroud. Propaganda, can't attack me unless you pay 2 for each attacker. Judoon Enforcers. They're 7 mana for an 8/8 with Trample. No more than 1 creature can attack you each combat, so that's by itself like already good. But then you can suspend 6, pay 3, and it'll come down in 6 turns. So on turn 9, if you actually do this on turn 3. That's 2 turns later than if you just wait to hardcast it, depending on if you make all your land drops. But, you know, whatever. Star Whale, Flying Vigilance. Other creatures you control have Ward 2. And then it has to spend 6 for 2, so that'll come out on turn 8. And it costs 8, so that's at least on general time. Then we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Talisman of Convention, Talisman of Creativity, Talisman of Progress, Thought Vessel, As Foretold. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on As Foretold. This is another thing to have a time counter on it. Once during each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast with mana value X or less, where X is the number of time counters on As Foretold. So you can get a free spell every turn, potentially. Rotating Fireplace. It enters with a time counter. And then you can tap to add colorless mana equal to the number of time counters on the Rotating Fireplace. It is a 3 mana rock that only gives you 1 colorless, but it has time counters on it, and Rose cares about that. this makes her at least one bigger. No, it makes her one bigger because it doesn't care about how many time counters, just how many different things. And then you can pay for it and tap to time travel as a sorcery. The Sonic Screwdriver adds 1 mana of any color, 1 in tap, untap another artifact, 2 in tap, scry 1, 3 in tap, target creature can be blocked this turn. The Face of Bo, he got his own deck at some point in the past.
Have some kind of
He was in an episode.
playlist, but the
You may cast the spell with Suspend from your hand. If you do, pay its Suspend cost rather than its mana cost.
You better work, Index Finger.
Only as a sorcerer because it's a tap ability.
Try 1 month free.
And I almost forgot to do that. There we go. Right, and they spelled the word out right. Yep. Then we have a removal. Path to Exile, Swords with Plowshares. Mizium Mortis is one that probably could have gone in more of my other ones. 4 damage, for 1 in a red, it's 4 damage to a target creature you don't control, but you can also pay 3 and 3 red, so that's triple, to do 4 damage to each creature you don't control. Mizium Mortars should be in more of my red decks, but I sometimes forget it exists, which is wild. The Moment is 2 mana for an artifact. Excuse me, I am so sorry. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on the Moment. Pay 2 and tap. Untap target creature you control. It phases out until the moment leaves the battlefield. Interesting. 3 and tap. And I like how it says leaves. So unless someone phases this out, they'll come back no matter what. 3 and tap. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of time counters on the moment. Then sacrifice the moment. Activate only as a sorcery. So this is your... Try to save as much of your own stuff as you can board wipe that everyone sees coming. So it's probably honestly, it's not even removal. Oh, scratching my back. You do that 2 untapped because that's an instant speed ability. You do that to save your stuff when it's being targeted. And then maybe you get to do the 3 tap. Then we got the Wild Magic Surge and Chaos Warp. That's where you destroy something or shuffle. I think this one's Destroy. Destroy target permanent and opponent controls, and then reveal cards from the top of their library until they reveal a permanent card that shares a card type. They put that card in the battlefield and the rest in the bottom of their library in random order. Chaos Warp shuffles it into their deck, and they reveal the top card of their library. If it's a permanent, it goes straight into the battlefield, so that could be bad. Delay Blast Fireball. It's 1 in double red, or 4 in double red for Foretell, which means you pay 2 up front, and then 4 double red later. Delay Blast Fireball deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control, but if it was cast from exile, which is what Foretell does, it's exiled, and that's where you cast it from. It deals 5 damage to each opponent and each creature they control instead. What's funny is the casting it from exile also counts if you impulsive draw it, and because you draw it into exile. It also counts as not casting from your hand. This doesn't have all of the things that would be in the generous gift pile, and I probably should switch them over, but I'm not going to. Destroy non-land permanent, they get an elephant. For each player, you destroy a target non-enchantment, non-land permanent. No, we choose the permanent, and they shuffle into their library. Then each of those players who Exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Rest in the bottom of their library. They cast the non-land card without paying its mana cost, which is important because that means they get cast triggers. Memories of Nibelheim, that's destroy, non-land permanent, they get a human. Demonstrate, which means you can let someone else copy it to get to get a copy yourself. Destroy target artifact or creature you don't control. If that permanent is destroyed this way, its controller exiles cards from the library until they exile an online card. Oh, and everything else stays exiled. So this exiles lands from deck. Then they play that card without paying its mana cost. Aetherize, bounce attacking creatures in its owner's hand. Kraken Time, vanishing 3. When Kraken Time enters the battlefield, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, exile target creature and opponent controls until Kraken Time leaves the battlefield. So this can exile multiple things through your turns, as long as you can keep vanishing counters on it with proliferate or time travel. Settle the Wreckage, exile all attacking creatures. Its controller can get up to that many. Not up to, gets that many basics from their, or as many basics as they have up to that many onto the battlefield tapped. Oh, the War Doctor is in here. So all of the doctors who are part of the moment. I think that was an anniversary special. Ow. Scratching an itch. Are in this deck, so that's cool. And he is a doctor, and if we had a blue companion, well, we would probably just make the War Doctor deck, because that's another one that was on a different episode. Whenever one or more other permanents phase out, and when one or more other cards are put into exile from anywhere, put a time counter on the War Doctor. I like how it includes phasing.
And more streaming channels to watch your favorite.
Whenever the War Doctor attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of time counters on it to any target. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, it is exiled instead, which would put a time counter on the War Doctor. Aether Spouts, attacking creatures go to its owner's top or bottom of their library, the controller's choice. Atraxi Warden, flying, when it enters the battlefield, exile up to one target tapped creature, but also has to spend 5 for 1 and a white. Then there's Coward or Killer. This didn't have room for the quotes from this, but I think it's on another card, because otherwise I don't think I would know it off the top of my head, that he would always choose to be a coward. Target creature can't block this turn and becomes a coward in addition to its other types until end of turn. Time travel. And I think this is this kind of card. I'm not seeing any markings on it, so I think this is an either or card. Coward or Killer. Right. So you can only cast one of the two. Killer deals 3 damage to target creature and each other creature that shares a creature type with it. Oh, that's neat. And then the lands, and then we did proliferate. So that's this deck. Oh, wait, nope. Here we go. There's another section. I almost forgot. Well, I did forget about it, but then I had the serendipitous fortune of scrolling further down than I actually intended to. So we have Kaith, Famed Mechanist. Fabricate 1, which means when she enters the battlefield, you either put a +1/+1 counter on her, or make a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. And then other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1, which means they get to do the same thing. And it says token, because if it was token, Fabricate would be incredibly broken. Two generic tap, choose one. You can either populate, which is create a copy of a token. I don't know if it has to be a creature token. Let's see if... It is creature tokens for populate. That makes sense because of the word. But I had to check. So you can either create a token copy of a creature token or proliferate. Araxa, Empress of Mars. Trample. When she attacks, your other attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, create a 2/2 red alien warrior creature token. Kate Stewart. Whenever you put one or more time counters on a permanent you control, you get a soldier. Whenever she attacks, you may pay 8. If you do, attacking creatures get +X/+X until the turn, where X is the number of time counters among permanents you control. That's pretty sweet with Rose. Dinosaurs on a spaceship. 4 red, white for a 7/7 with vigilance and trample. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1, have vigilance and trample. And then it has to spend 4 for 5. So, barring time travel shenanigans, that comes out, and ramp. Barring ramp and time travel, this comes out on turn 9. But whenever a time counter is removed from dinosaurs on a spaceship while it's exiled, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur creature token with flying and haste. This deck is cool, probably could be better, but I like the cards that are in it, so I probably wouldn't do anything to it. I would just change who the commander was. Maybe to the 11th Doctor. I mean, not 11th, but 10th. The 9th Doctor does come out sooner, so that's kind of neat. Depending on how many, like, if you actually draw any of your stuff where you care about your... See, the thing is the stuff with vanishing will go away sooner with the 9th Doctor, so, you know. Again, he's just there because he's the lowest numbered Doctor. So now we got the 12th Doctor. I do not see immediately any alternate Doctors. Like, she's all the way over here, but if she was meant to be alternate, she'd be over here. And she has her own deck. It's right there. It is also Teamer, so that's mildly interesting.
Watch hit movies and TV
Graham
shows
O'Brien.
on
Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, create a food.
Try AMC Plus free for 7 days on YouTube and dive into the latest releases.
The first spell you cast from anywhere other than your hand each turn has Demonstrate. That is honestly really cool. I think that kind of politic-y, theoretically stuff, while not high power, is fun. Although it's not really something that you get leverage with, I don't think, because, like, what are they going to give you if you give them a copy? Well, they're giving you the copy that you get as well. Whenever you copy a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on the 12th Doctor. Yeah. Like, you just throw a bone to whoever doesn't seem to be doing all that great. Here, you can have a copy of this spell. As long as you're casting it from anywhere other than your hand. I have some leftover breakfast I'm kind of working through. Even though I realized just after I started eating that was Dumb idea. But I was kind of hungry. Passionate archaeologist. This is a background. It being a background don't matter here. Commander creatures you own have, whenever you cast a spell from exile, this creature deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. Okay. Keeper of Secrets. It's a rare sighting of a 40k card. There's very few of those that I'll put in a deck. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Keeper of Secrets deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. Also has First Strike and Haste. Our friend the Flaming Tyrannosaurus again. Oh, Tygam, Master Opportunist. 2 mana 2/2. Legendary Human Monk. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. That's really cool, and this guy probably could have gone on the previous deck. In theory. I'm a big fan of Tygam, at least this one. Breaches the Blastmaker. This is another second spell thing. I'm just double checking his wording to see if. And these guys don't care. Neither of these guys. Well, he cares about copying, but he doesn't care about copying. Where was I? Here we go. Breaches. Menace. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, see, that goes with the food. If you do, flip a coin. When you win the flip, copy the spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Excuse me. When you lose the flip, Breaches the Blastmaker deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Stella Lee, wild card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Well, she definitely goes well with the Doctor. Almost made really gross noise there. Tap target, copy target's instant or sorcery spell you control, and you may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. So she's for if we get a really, good hand going. Lithoform Engine? I'm probably going to take this out. Because while it's neat, I don't think it's doing a whole lot for us. 4 mana for an artifact, legendary artifact. 2 tap, copy target activator triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. 3 and tap, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose 2 targets. 4 and tap, copy target permanent spell you control. See, this goes with our commander because we can copy spells. I just feel the tax on it might just be a little too much. Volo Guide to Monsters, really? Whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't say a creature type with a creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, copy that spell. I'm willing to bet that that besides, let's see, let's actually look. We have a human right here, Time Lord Doctor here, demon, not a creature, dinosaur. We have a human, so that's with Graham, who's also a pilot for the record. Stella Lee's also a human. That's also a Time Lord Doctor.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app.
That's a
all
Goblin
together.
Wizard.
One subscription, 2 apps. Try 1 month free.
That is also a demon. I don't know how many. I'm just trying to get a gauge of how many cards we can draw. Oh, hey, there's the 6th Doctor hiding in there. So we probably can. I mean, not cards that we can draw, but how many times we can copy. Probably a non-zero number of times, obviously, but Mizik's Replica Rider? Flying. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may pay 1 in either blue or red. If you do, copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. If the copy is a permanent, it gains haste, and you sacrifice it at the end of your turn. Okay. That's fine. And it's not as expensive as the other one. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, copy it. Choose 2 targets for a copy. If it's a permanent, you sacrifice it at the end of turn. 6th Doctor. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you can copy it, except the copy isn't legendary once a turn. Yeah, there's probably a lot of historic stuff in here. Historic means artifact, legendary, or saga. When this enters, you gain the initiative. Whenever you cast your 2nd spell each turn, copy it. If you've completed a dungeon, copy that spell twice instead. New targets for the copies. And of course, copies of permanent spells become tokens, but you don't have to sacrifice those. Sister of Karn enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, it gets another one. This is removal bait since it doesn't really have trample, or it's something that's just going to get jump blocked, but you know, whatever. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. At the beginning of your end step, untap a creature you control with a counter on it. Fortune Teller's Talent. Look at the top card of your library at any time. That's at the base cost of 1 blue. For another blue and 3 generic, as long as you've cast a spell this turn, you may play cards from the top of your library, which is not from your hand for the things that care about that. And then for another 2 and a blue, you can activate the passive ability. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. Heaven Sent. Great episode. The first 2 chapters are Investigate. And then Heaven Sent deals 1 damage to each opponent. Then if an opponent has 0 or less life, draw 7 cards. Otherwise, exile Heaven Sent and you may cast it this turn. And it only costs blue-red, so that's pretty sweet. Got the TARDIS again. The Reality Chip. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and then if this is equipped to a creature, you can cast spells and play lands off the top of your library. Equipped for 2 and a blue, base casting cost of 1 of a blue, and it's a 0/4 equipment jellyfish. Fibblethip, lost on the range. He has Ward 2, which means when you try to target him with a spell, and I think and/or ability, it's countered unless you pay an additional 2. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. The top card of your library has plot equal to its mana value. You may plot non-colliding cards from the top of your library. Plot means you pay that cost, exile it, and then on a later turn you can play it without. You can cast it without paying its mana value. Harnesser of Storms. Whenever you cast a non-creature or otter spell, you may exile the top card of your library until end of turn. You may play that card. This ability triggers once a turn. So we probably have a decent number of non-creature spells. Hedron Detonator. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, food. Hedron Detonator deals 1 damage to each totarget opponent. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Haste, whenever the Blade Reforged attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, she gets a +1/+1 counter. Professional Facebreaker. Whenever one or more creatures you can control deal combat damage to a player, you get a treasure. Sacrifice a treasure to exile the top card of your library. You can play it this turn. Menace. Outpost Siege. Cons. At the beginning of your
YouTube music
upkeep, exile the top card of your library until you can play that card.
Like most music apps.
Or whenever you a creature you control leaves the battlefield,
It's kind of fun. Song, video.
Outpost Siege deals 1 damage to target creature or
Get
player.
YouTube Music Premium. Try 1 month free.
The first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. This is a creature, Wild Magic Sorcerer. Yasmin Khan. I was wondering if she was going to make an appearance in this deck. Exile the top card. Tap. Exile the top card of your library. For the until your next end step, you may play it. Kami of Celebration. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Modified means if they were equipped or enchanted by an artifact you control or have any kind of counter on them, they are modified. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Brotherhood Regalia. Quick creature has Ward 2. Can't be blocked. Can't be blocked except by walls. Can't be blocked and has Ward 1. And has an additional creature type. And is named the thing that you named it. Can't be blocked and has Shroud. Oh, we are in the lands. Whoops. We are in the lands section. Lightning Greaves again. And Swiftfoot Boots, that's Hexproof and Haste. Mithril Coat, it's flash indestructible and it gives the equipped creature indestructible. And when it enters the battlefield, it equips itself to a legendary creature you control. Propaganda again, Soul Ring, Arcsig. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast. Plotting cards from your hand cost 2 less. That last part probably doesn't matter. Farseek to get a not forest from your library onto the battlefield. Gets a forest. Talisman. Gets a forest. Each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. Whenever you cast this, your second spell each turn, go target creature and opponent controls. Tokens, tap for green. Sonic Screwdriver. Osgood. She gets a non-legendary copy of herself. Then you can tap to add colorless, but that can only cast artifacts or activate artifact abilities. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere within your hand, you investigate. Investigate are the clue tokens. Pay 2, sacrifice, draw a card. Savvy Trader. When Savvy Trader enters the battlefield, exile target permanent card from your graveyard. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Spells you cast from anywhere within your hand cost 1 less. Bigger on the inside. Enchant artifact or land. Enchant permanent has tap. Target player adds 2 mana of any one color. The next spell that they cast this turn has Cascade. Neato. Sage of the Beyond. Spells you cast from anywhere within your hand cost 2 less to cast, and it itself has Foretell. Pongify. Rapid Hybridization. Beast Within. Chaos Warp. Delayed Blast Fireball. Aetherize. Aether Spouts. Academy Manufactor. Whenever you get a clue, food, or treasure, you get all 3. Whenever you cast a spell from exile or a land enters the battlefield under your control from exile, you get a 2/2 wolf. Pay 1, discard a card, tap, discard a card, exile the top card of your library, you may play it this turn. Araxa again. And we're back to Grandma Bryan. And I believe we're at 99 cards because I took one out. Yep, so we're just going to go here. We're going to go here. And the thing is that I don't know what I want to replace it with. I just knew that that other thing was mana heavy. Maybe just give him River Song Diary. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell from their hand, exile it instead of putting it into their graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more cards exiled with River Song's Diary, choose one of them at random. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Then it goes into the discard pile. Of the owner, obviously. There is a Doctor Who printing. 4 mana Cascade, which means, you know, exile cards from the top of your library until exile a non-land card that costs less. Cast it without paying its mana cost. The rest of those cards go in the bottom of the random order. And Retrace, you can discard a land to cast it from your graveyard. In addition to paying the mana cost. I'm going to mute for a hot second. As soon as I... There we go. A hot second is, of course, a measure of time that equals as long as it needs to be.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
You messed up my life.
I think we're just going to put this in for now. Just to end the deck. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Is that how that's spelled? Twelfth. Wow. Twelf. 12th. Oh. Twelfth. I would have guessed a V. Anyway. The 13th Doctor. We've read her. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, plus +1 counter on target creature. On your end step, untap each creature controls the counter on it. And then she comes with Yasmin Khan, who is one of my favorite Doctor's companions, not because of the show, just because she's Impulse Draw. You can activate on the end step before your upkeep, so you have your entire turn to play it. There's Passionate Archaeologist again. Keeper Secrets again, Flaming Tamaranosaurus again, Mizzix again, 12th Doctor, Nalfeshni again, Adamantium Bonding Tank, because this one, since this one has 13 at the helm, we actually care about those counters. Sisterhood of Karn, Me the Immortal. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1 first strike, vigilance, or menace counter on Me the Immortal. Counters remain on Me as it moves to any zone other than a player's hand or library. You can cast Me from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to playing its other costs. So you have to exile her to get rid of her forever. That really does do a good job of looking like the actress who played her. I guess they all do. It's just, for some reason that one is striking. TARDIS, Reality Chip. Anep, Vizier of Hazaret. You may exert Anep. Has trample. It's a 4/2 for 3. You may exert. That means it doesn't untap on its next untap step. As it attacks, when you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. I like how it gives it till your next turn, so they can sit in exile for a while. Filled with Mokhov, some range again. Gia Corsair. No, it's Gilla, because there's only one L. Whenever attacks while saddled, Impulsive Draw. You have until the end of your next turn to cast it, or play it. Saddles for 1. Keiichi, Fortune Teller. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1, then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X/+1 on turn, where X is that card's mana value. Headliner Scarlet has haste. When Headliner Scarlet enters the battlefield, creatures target player control can't block this turn. That is gross. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library face down. You may look at that card and play it this turn. Lunar Whale. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as it's attacked this turn, you may play the top card of your library crew 1 for a 3/5 flyer for 4. Nero Wild Mage. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put it at the bottom of its owner's library. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, and put the rest of the bottom of your library in random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. So I think for the purposes of the cards that care about it, this is not playing from hand, but it's not casting from exile. So it triggers one of the two, but not both. Oh, sorry, Cassie. Lightning Greaves, Propaganda, Soul Rain, Sig. There's the Grizzled Genius guy again. Farseek, Mindstone, Natlore, Talisman, Thought Vessel, 3 visits, Breachers. I see that one's in here. Whenever a pirate you control attacks, which is probably only Breaches, you can choose one of these things. And then, since it's whenever A and not whenever 1 or more, if we have 3 or more pirates attacking, we can choose all 3 of these. Create a treasure. Target creature can't block. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Hey, the Facebreaker again. Sonic Screwdriver. Different art because this is the 13th Doctor. At Sushi, the Blazing Sky. Flying Trample 4/4 for 4. When it dies, you either exile the top 2 cards of your library to play them until the end of your next turn, or you get 3 treasure. Osgood again. Savvy Trader again. The Belligerent. Whenever the Belligerent attacks, create a treasure token. Until the end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Crew 3 for a 5/5 for 4. Bigger on the inside again. Sage of the Beyond again. Berserk. I'm surprised we didn't see it in the other deck, but that's just what happens sometimes. That's the play only right before the combat damage step. Target creature gets trample and +X/+0 until on turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of the next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked. Nature's Claim. Search for the Frozen Esper skin. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Controller gains 4 life. Pest Infestation. I mean, if we're going through the trouble, we may as well do this one. It's double X and green to destroy X up to X target artifacts and or enchantments, and then get that twice that many pests, who when they die you gain a life. Tongify, rapid, collective resistance, destructive revelry, Mizium mortars, Ali's intervention. It deals twice X damage to each creature with flying. Reality shift, Wild Magic Surge, Beast Within, Chaos Warp, Delayed Blast, Guff, Flourish, Aetherize, Spouts, Grandma Bryan. This is a different deck, so this guy's just hiding in the deck. The Dread Wolf Herald, Araxa, and back into the 13th Doctor. Like, some of the cards in this deck, like, remind me that I think I missed some of these cards in the other decks that have the exact same colors. And that if I wasn't so lazy, I would change all of the decks to be more consistent with each other with the cards that I like to play. Actually gonna remember to do this way. I don't feel like. I typed out each of the other doctors, but for this one I didn't feel like typing out the word 13th. Now we have fan favorite 15th Doctor. I'm being facetious because people who don't deserve to have opinions on the internet didn't like him. And I say that because their reasons were because of his skin color. And I'm like, you cried when the woman became the Doctor. Just shut up and stop having opinions on the internet. You people sicken me. If you want to talk about how you're not entranced by the show's writing and haven't been since Doctor whatever, I think 12th is the original one. Fine, if you can do that without saying because woman or because black guy. Well, I think his character was also canonically gay too. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. In fact, you can make it funny by saying oh man, I just had a dumb thought. That the 14th Doctor, who is also the 10th Doctor, was bi. So when he bifurcated or whatever, all of the 14th became straight because all of the other half went into 15, and that's the dumb thing I thought. And I'm gonna stand by it while admitting that it is stupid, and I gotta mute again. But I can assure you of what I know of Doctor Who, that whatever they did for Doctors 13 and 15, not nearly as dumb as a lot of the stuff from classic Doctor Who. Okay, so the 8th Doctor was great in the live action material. That movie, not really good. And then the 4th Doctor was the Doctor for 7 years, and he did a great job, but he did not have 100% winners. Just saying. And you can say the same thing about 5, 6, and 7. Sorry, just trying to enjoy breathing through my nose for a second. So yeah, take your complaints elsewhere, is what I'm saying, as I try to navigate my way back to this one. So this is Teamer again. Jamie McCrimmon, 200 green for a 2/2 trample. Whenever you cast a historic spell, Jamie gets +X/+X, where that's the mana value. And the 15th Doctor. This is actually my least favorite Doctor Magic card, just because of the ability, because it does stuff I'm not a fan of. Whenever the 15th Doctor enters the battlefield or attacks, you may mill 3 cards. You know me, I don't like milling myself. Sometimes I can make it to where I don't mind, but not a fan. You may put an artifact card with mana value 2 or less, 2 or 3 from among them into your hand. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better, because for some reason in my head I thought it put them onto the battlefield with a finality counter, but that must be someone else, and that would stink. But yeah, because this one mills us, I'm not a fan. The first non-artifact spell you control each turn has Improvise, which means you can tap artifacts to pay for a generic mana cost. So our goal is to have a decent number of artifacts with mana value 2 or 3 that we can bring back from our graveyard from our own milling. Because it does say from among them, so of the those 3 cards. 6th Doctor, whenever you cast a historic spell, copy it. Except the copy isn't legendary, once a turn. And artifacts are legendary. Or artifacts, they're not legendary. They're historic, so that's that. TARDIS, it's an artifact of the appropriate mana value. Reality Trip, artifact of the appropriate mana value. Forensic Gadgeteer, whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. And then activate abilities of artifacts you control cost 1 less to activate. To no less than 1.
It's way more than ad free. Try 1 month on us.
The Research Craft. It has Station, which means that as a sorcery, you can tap a creature to place some kind of counter on this. I wonder if the card info will tell us what kind of counter. Charge counter. Very important to know what type of counter it is. Because it can have hilarious interactions with other things that use the same type of counter. Like this Research Craft uses the exact same kind of counter as Guile, the Street Fighter character. Just saying. So if you have things that can move counters around from your stuff, or if it's a creature with counters and you have an Ozolith in play, those charge counters can be put onto another creature. Now the trick to that is that you can't use them to cheat station costs, because the thing's not a creature. Unless you use an animate artifact ability to skirt around it. But then I don't know what its power and toughness would be once you get it fully stationed. If it's its animated ability or its text ability, there's probably some layering thing there that just over my head and beyond my pay grade. But if it has at least 3 charge counters on it, whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card, and then you get a charge counter on the spacecraft. Also, it is an artifact within the 2 and 3 mana value. Then at 12 charge counters, it has flying, and it's a 0/8 that gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So this is a neat little space station. Joyra, whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. The 4th Doctor, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. Once each turn, you may play a historic land or cast a historic spell from the top of your library. When you do, you get a food token. Hey, that's cool. Lunar Whale again. Videlkin Archmage. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card. Mignon. The Right Hand. Flying 3/4 for 5. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap, add blue. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. That is mildly interesting. Because that means that if we did artifacts with that other doctor, he would be a good include. Thought Monitor? Oh, affinity for artifacts. It's a 2/2 for 6 and a blue that you draw 2 cards when it enters. So this is not something that we can get back with our commander if it gets milled. Just saying. Because its mana value is always 7. Brotherhood Regalia, Psychic Paper. Oh, now we're on to our lands. Lightning Greaves, Mirror Shield. +2/+0, and whenever the equipped creature is either blocked or is blocked by a creature with Death Touch, the Death Touch creature is destroyed. Silver Shroud Costume. It gains Shroud until end of turn, but it also can't be blocked, and it's Flash. Darksteel Plate. It costs 3, equips for 2. Equipped creature has Indestructible. Mithril Coat. Whisper Silk Cloak. Hammer of Nazahan. It is right outside of our range, but I guess it's because I have a lot of, I feel I have enough pieces of equipment in this deck. Whenever this or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may, you get a free equip for that equipment. Equipped creature has +2/+0 and Indestructible with this one. Soul Ring, Arc Sig, Enthusiasm Mechanok. Artifact spells cost 1 less, and it is an artifact itself of mana value 2. Therium Sculptor, artifact mana value 2, artifact spells 1 less. Farseek, Rule Signet, Izzet Signet, Mind Stone, Nature's Lore, Simic Signet, Talisman, Thought Vessel, 3 visits. Foundering Spectre, artifact spells cost 1 less to cast. Sonic Screwdriver. Outside of our range, but it's you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast Historic Land. Play Historic lands and cast Historic spells on top of your library. It also taps for blue. Jorah's Familiar, outside the mana range for our commander, but Historic spells cost less 1 to cast. Belligerent again. Mycosynth Golem, way outside of the mana value, but it is hilarious because it's an 11 mana 4/5 for affinity for artifacts, but also gives your other artifact creature spells affinity for artifacts. Emery, Lurker of the Luck, she mills us when she comes in. She also costs 1 less for each artifact we control, so she can cost as little as 1 blue. When she enters, you mill 4 cards, but then on your turns, you can tap to choose an artifact card in your graveyard to cast that turn. Berserk, Search, Pest, Ong, Rapid, Collective, Destructive, Mizium, Nadia, Shift, Surge, Beast, Chaos, Delayed, Guff, Oh, Surtur, Fiery Jotun. He has Trample, and whenever he casts a historic spell, Surtur Lightning Bolt someone, so that's cool. I probably blazed through these, but that is fine, because there are more. There were other decks I kind of wanted to make. Let me check my time. Oh, an hour 19. I killed a lot more time than I thought I would. And I'm gonna go parent folder. Parent folder again. There's nothing in this folder. So we can delete that folder. Oh. Watch as I kill time. Oh, that's the deck that I wanted to make. I'm glad I looked here. Oh, and honestly, I could have just done this. Because I made a second who won. There we go. And then we can go back in here. Preview. Sort of. There are actually two decks I wanted to make. So this one's going to be the 5 Doctors. Did I remember? No, I didn't. I did it stupid. Is a word I don't feel like typing out. Itchy. Grab this now. Yep. So we are going to read this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So the 5 Doctors. This was another special early on.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Search your library and it's
HBO Max
5 generic and a
and
green with a
watch
kicker of
movies
an
to
additional
watch
5
your
generic.
favorites on
Lordy lord.
YouTube.
Search your library and or graveyard for up to 5 doctor cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. If this spell was kicked, put those cards on the battlefield instead of putting them into your hand. So for 11 mana, you can get all of your doctors into play. If you let like your main one die. So once again, we're going to go over here. In the 3 doctors, the original guy who played the Doctor, I think, was still alive, but he had to be sequestered onto a side set because, he was not in great health. And I think on this one, they recast him because, the first one had passed away. And honestly, they've only brought him back twice, I think. And both times, the person that they cast to basically pretend to be this guy, they did great jobs. They had the look, and they had the demeanor down. So that's cool. We're not doing anything with the Bing app I see over here. So, we have the 5 Doctors here. 1983. I was very, very young. There we go. The TARDIS fandom page. Yeah, so this is the 5th Doctor and the main Doctor. Oh, really? Tegan. And Turlough. I wonder. We will close. Because Turlough gives us the opportunity to put
the YouTube music app
Black
has the
into our
power to
deck.
sense what you like from the moment you open the app. It's almost like it can read your mind. That's what I was going to say.
But it
Get YouTube
depends.
Music Premium. Try one
But I
month free.
think of our 5 Doctors, yeah. It's white, blue. Oh, forgot to put that in here. Green, blue. One, two. So we're looking for the 3rd. Green, blue again. Here's 5. I think Tegan is white, so I think we have to pull out another companion. Yep. Or, even though the 5 Doctors is a 5th Doctor special, we could put a different Doctor. Oh, but there's more people. Susan the Brigadier. Oh, she's green. The Brigadier, he's appropriate, okay. Because this is a Bant deck. I'm going to assume it's Sarah Jane Smith. We'll do something about the versions later. Tremis Master? Who's this? Oh, it's the Master. Well, that ain't making it into a deck because all of the versions of the Master have black in them. I don't think Jericho has a card. Razmalong is black blue. Romana II and K9. Oh, right, this was a Children in Need special. Oh, geez, wow. The guy, Richard Humdahl, who did a great job, passed away 5 months after this. So that's, so it's sad that he passed away, but it was good that he got to do this. Oh, Tom Baker didn't come back for this, which understandable. He played it for 7 years, and I think he was also having an ego about it, sharing the stage. That I'm not going to get on him about. That's fine. So they used previously filmed but never broadcast footage. Oh, of the abandoned story that was written by Ray Bradbury, I think it was. No. Douglas Adams. Susan Foster. Oh, Jamie McCrimmon was in here.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
I don't think those.
Get stars and more streaming channels to watch your favorites on YouTube.
Brigadier. K9 Mark III is specific to this one, but we only have a K9 Mark I card. But Jamie. I think Liz. But I'm typing this in just in case. Nope, it would be up here as Elizabeth. Just looking at the links, because that'll tell us. Oh, because we have the third Doctor, we get Bessie. I think we can close this. Do it here. Bessie, the Doctor's rotor. Also TARDIS.
YouTube Premium is ad.
Okay. There's another guy that I don't think is in here, but I John Benton wasn't mentioned. Okay, so the Fifth Doctor. I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to line that up like that. Oh, I think it paused on me again. Yes, it did. Excuse me, I am sorry.
And video downloads.
And the Fifth Doctor will be the commander. And then I do like using these printings whenever possible. Oh, and since we haven't said what these are, I'm gonna this episode. Fifth Doctor, at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control that didn't attack or enter the battlefield this turn. Untap those creatures. Romana II, Vigilance. 1 in tap. Create a tap token. That's a copy of target token that entered the battlefield this turn. Okay. Sarah Jane Smith. Darn you. Whenever you cast a historic spell, investigate once a turn. TARDIS. The First Doctor can tutor for this, as a reminder. And then when it attacks, if you control the Time Lord, the next spell you cast this turn has Cascade, and you can do the Planeswalkie thing. Fourth Doctor. We've seen this one a couple of times today. Oh, and just once. That's the historic spells from the top of your library and create a food token. Second Doctor. This is the one where your opponents get stuff, but they can't attack you. Players have no max man size. Then at the beginning of your end step, each player may draw a card. Any opponent who draws a card can't attack you on their next turn. Or permanents you control, should you have any planeswalkers. Or battles, for that matter. Betsy, when it attacks, another target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. Oh, who sent me a message? Okay, no, that wasn't important. I get notifications on my phone for Discord, but that wasn't it. Because the Discord on my computer did not tell me. All printings, we go over here. Crew 2 for 3/4 haste. When this attacks, another target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. K9, we saw them earlier. Whenever you attack, target attacking historic creature gets +1/+1 and indestructible until end of turn. That's actually really cool. Jamie, we saw him earlier. Susan, if you planeswalk, you can look at the top 2 cards of the planar deck, put one on the bottom and the other on top. Then you planeswalk, and she also can tap for green. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you get a soldier. And then when Alistair attacks, you can pay 8 to get +X/+X on all your creatures, where that's the number of historic permanents you control. That is once again really cool. The Third Doctor. He gets +1/+1 for each non-creature token, and then when they enter the battlefield, you get a clue, a food, or a treasure. Whenever you cast a spell with Cascade, you get a +1/+1 counter on target artifact or creature. And there's the part about the TARDIS that I said. If your favorite Doctor is the first Doctor, good for you. I wish we could find more of the lost episodes because of how things were done back in the day. A lot of those episodes got destroyed after they were broadcast, but some people, either out of foresight, negligence, or other reasons, either recorded them off TV or kept things that they were supposed to destroy. And then there's the 5 Doctors. So now we have to find our companion. There's another Doctor somewhere that I'm too stupid to find. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's the first Doctor. There it is. The Tudor effect. K9 does have Doctor's Companion. Not a thing I've noticed before just now, because I just now decided to read it. So it's either Susan Foreman or Jamie McCrimmon. Unless we want to change our main Doctor. I mean, I suppose you could change who the main Doctor is when you play it, but I kind of want to have the 5th Doctor as the default Doctor. Set his deck image. So honestly, I think just for cheesy, cheeky reasons, we go with the Manadork. Because she allows us to play the 5th Doctor a turn early. For what it's worth. Here. Just to see what other stuff from the set we want to put in here, because it feels appropriate before we pan out. The Arc Sig. beast within. Land.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Silicon Valley. People act like we took something.
Try AMC Plus free for 7 days on YouTube and dive into the latest releases.
So this is the only appropriate one because this is for the 10th Doctor, this is for the 12th Doctor, and this is the Master's time in a TARDIS. The Cybermen do appear in this story as enemies, but I'm not gonna do that because there's not gonna be a whole lot of artifact creatures. Just throwing in displaced dinosaurs will be funny as heck. Would love to use the 500-year diary, but I don't. Oh, the council chamber. Oh wait, no, minus. But I don't think we're gonna have a bunch of clues, because otherwise it's a overpriced mana rock. Spiral. Oh, that is the 7th Doctor. Nope, 6th. Oh, right. Boy, the 6th and the 7th were ridiculous outfits. I mean, I guess so did 4 and 4. 5 kind of got away with being normal. We're gonna throw a bad card in. Even though that's from a different part. just a good card. I don't know whose sonic screwdriver this is. How many lands I'll get up to.
Check out Money, the new music video from JPEG Mafia on YouTube, your one-stop shop for music.
I'm gonna put this in as filler. Let you feel smart for removing it. Okay, that is everything from who. Oh, 29, look at that. And where are we on ramp? We're exactly at 10, but there's still one. I'm gonna put one more piece of I only have 6. Okay, so there's 3 more pieces of ramp I want to put in here. Nature's Lore. But maybe I won't put them in for once. I'll go to I'm gonna pretend only having 6 basics is absolutely fine. Oh, right. What is this? Secrets of Strixhaven Commander introduced another cycle of fetchable lands. These ones, your opponents have to control 8 or more lands for it to come to play untapped. So it's another very late game thing. Very weird. 34, 35, 36, 37. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. Yep. We want the surveil land? Or comes into play untapped unless land. Although that's 2 more basics is the only or. So I think we're gonna go with the surveil lands. That's our 37 lands. So our other doctors, should we rather have them in control? Cares about non-creature tokens. Cares about not being attacked. Historic spells. And cares about Cascade. So none of them work together. Moving around my table and stuff. So we're kind of in bracket 1 territory. That's fine. How many creatures do I have? 10. Let's put in more creatures. We're not looking for creatures with haste.
Okay,
Oh wait, no.
you're watching YouTube, but did you know
Haste is
there's a
fine because this
YouTube
wouldn't put
music
on
app where
them
you can
if they
discover
entered
new
that
music
turn
with a
anyway.
swipe?
I'm gonna need some more egg bowl, I think.
Get YouTube Music Premium.
Things that get +1/+1 counters when they enter. That actually kind of makes them pretty sweet mana dorks. Okay, let's do those two because that's funny. We're not taking out any of the other ramp. We're just gonna have to find things that are expensive. Oh, Fathom Mage can draw us cards when there's +1/+1 counters on him. I'm not putting other Who stuff in. That's my personal limitation. Oh, creatures you control with +1/+1 counters can't be blocked. That could have gone in other decks, but it didn't. Arcanus the Omnipotent. That is 3 solid blue pips on that thing, but that is funny as heck. Remove a counter from non-land permanent you control, draw a card. That's what I was looking for. Yuna goes into this deck. And there's another guy that goes in this deck, but I didn't see him. I'm gonna give him one more look because I know what his colors are. Role model. Also the Ozolith. But the adamantium bonding tank version. To hold on. This encourages us to keep the 5th Doctor as the Commander Doctor. Man, I could really go for custard pie. I'm gonna drink some water, then flavor some more water. Boy, I tightened that lid pretty tight. It's also me delaying to give myself time to think. Perfect music. Absolutely perfect, no notes. Boop-boodle-la-dee-doo. 17 creatures. 19. Excuse me. Let's see. I know she put herself in ramp, but I want to put her up here in counters. Adamantium Bonding Tank, of course, is the best one because it also counts exile. The other two don't, but you know. We're gonna look for +1/+1 counter, draw a card, and see what's. Non-important creature part. Okay, you got a discard there. Got a discard there.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
I have a really good feeling about this, Millie.
Get stars and more.
Oh, each creature you control
streaming
the
channels to watch
counter
your
on it gains
favorites
flying
on
until end of
YouTube.
turn. Hello, Baxter, flying the ointment. Next set is this from? Oh, an upcoming set. I'm not gonna bother reading it. Oh. The heroic part don't matter, but you can tap her to remove a counter from her to draw a card. Chasm Skulker is fun because it explodes into creatures when it dies. Whoops. That was silly. Whenever you draw a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. We're actually looking for the opposite. Danny Pink really goes in this deck, but he is from Who, and I don't want. And like, I don't mind them getting cross dimensional stuff, but I don't want other Who stuff. That's just a weird head thing for me. Once a turn. Oh, this thing. It enters with so many +1/+1 counters, but whenever we attack, we can remove a +1/+1 counter from each of 2 creatures to draw a card. And we get a robot. Galadriel Light of Valinor is actually just kind of a good card. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get one of these 3 things. It can happen up to 3 times. And meaning you can get all 3 of these in a turn if you have 3 creatures enter. You add 3 green, +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, or scry 2 and draw a card. She's not going in this deck, I just don't care. Oh, Goldberry, who can move counters. She's very slow for the card drawing part, but she can give herself +1/+1 counters, and also, but she can also give her counters
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music
to
app
someone else.
all together.
It's very slow, but it's neat.
1 subscription, 2 apps. Try 1 month free.
Oh, the Iron Spider. Lets us draw cards. It puts counters on artifact creatures and vehicles, but that don't matter. I don't know. Even though there's other ways to do it, I like. I like the mechanic of removing the counters to draw cards. I don't know, just something about that. Something about that just tickles the right part of my brain. Two pages in. Some of these are skip past just for the amount of record keeping I don't feel like doing. It's also funny how I'm like the ones where it gets plus one counters if we draw a card. I'm like, no, I want to do it in the other order. Whenever you put a counter on the creature that you control, draw a card once a turn. Yes. Hold up, wait. Yeah, we're not using a different printing. Oh, Mindless Automaton. Remove 2 counters from this creature, draw a card. It enters with 2. So it kind of just has to sit there for a bit. It costs 4, so it's a little more expensive than other things, but, you know. Wait. Whenever you... Oh, no, that's draw your second card. Bleh. But he does investigate, so that ain't the worst. Oh, this guy costs 6, but we are in green. And he costs less to do the thing. Oh, whenever one or more. That also has slightly different ways to do it. I just like the idea of all of my creatures being able to trade +1/+1 counters for card draw. Okay, this is the first one that I'm probably not going to pick because it's the least mana efficient. Sure, it's 3 to bring out, but it's 3 to remove a +1/+1 counter. And one of those is colored mana, and all of the other ones are 2 or less. So this original Ixalan card does not make the cut. do kind of want to put Technodrome in a deck. It's 2 mana for a 3/3 vehicle. It can't attack or block unless its power is 6 or greater. It has reach and trample. But you can tap it to sacrifice an artifact, draw a card, and put a +++ counter on this creature. So it has to be in one of them decks where we are either have some kind of artifact value engine with Junk Diver and stuff, or we're creating a lot of tokens. See, this is specific colored mana, but it's only 2, so that one makes it in. Stuff happens sometimes. Oh, we can close that. Yep, okay, so we're having a moment. Just give it a second. Okay. There we go. I'll eat egg. I am almost done with the egg. It is cold egg, but it is scrambled. There we go. And that was on the last page. Because we were adding you. Oh, and then we got to do this one more time. We can move counters. He also proliferates, which we're not to worry about. So, Titus does not make it into this deck. We are at 90. That's good.
Okay, you're on YouTube watching a classic Mitski video.
With 29 creatures, we can probably drop some if we wanted to. But now we're going to...
Wait, is this the new Mitski? Yes.
Honestly finish off our evasion. I mean, not evasion, but removal with the last of... with our last 10 spots. And honestly, we're going to get rid of Hero's Blade because it's not good. I mean, we can get rid of Bessie as well if we wanted to. Let me hold this a little bit closer to me. Make it easier to type. We're not going to worry about versions at this date and time. And I already did that right. Yes. Berserk is a fun removal spell. Erode. Nature's Claim. Excuse me. Unwanted Remake. Heliod's Intervention. I might as well say all of them when I bring them in. Now you might say this is a lot of removal for bracket 1, and I say Jack says you're in bracket 1 doesn't mean you can't play to win. It just means that your ability to win stinks. And as I said, you're thinking about it, maybe we don't board wipe. Alright, 3 mana value. We're at 96. How many pieces of removal do we have? We have 9. Pest Infestation. Nylea's Intervention. Board wipe strictly for flying creatures because to heck with them. I was thinking about the other 3 mana destroy permanents, but this one was a Who card, and I'm like, yep, no, that one makes it in, the other ones don't. There were, I think, 2 other 2-mana ones that I was thinking about but skipped over. We are at 98, but I'm also thinking maybe we put something else in here. Ghostly Prison. Golly gosh. Oh, I actually did manage to make it to 10 pieces of card draw.
Check out
Although I'm willing to bet
Directed
it's
by
because,
Takashi
yeah,
Miike,
a lot of
new video from
these.
the weekend on YouTube, your one-stop shop for music.
Flying is evasion. There we go. We have 13 pieces of card draw. And 11 pieces of removal, 3 of which are mass disruption, but 2 of those mass disruption are for artifacts and enchantments, and the other one is for flying creatures. Look at the doctors again. Okay, you can give us extra tokens. Oh, she can investigate, so that's good. I was looking for things that would make non-creature tokens. Oh, he can also do non-creature tokens, so that's good. One last card. Let's go to EDH Rec. Artifacts. The boots. As for Sentinel, we're not doing that. Walking Ballista. I understand. And I am tempted by the Walking Ballista. That is not what I meant to do. There's an all printings button, and that's what I meant to press. Assaultron Invader. Ah, this secret lair that I don't know what its deal is. So actually, what we're gonna do to pad out this episode a little bit more Can you feel the heart of steel? I was curious about this one. So it has Arcbound Ravager, Darksteel Colossus, and Walking Ballista. This is terrible. But since this kind of looked like a battle mech from Battletech, even though these wrist things are wrong. Honestly, it's the best card from the set. Ding. And honestly, to just finish the deck, we're Walking Ballisting because it's funny. But we are going to look at enchantments. Semic Ascendancy as an alternate win con. We're not doing that, but that's funny. Giving all of our stuff reach and trample, that's also funny. Broker's Ascendancy is also funny. Terra Symbiosis. Isn't technically not good because it's only one extra card with our commander's ability. Because it's one or more +1/+1 counters on one or more on one creature, not on one or more creatures. So it's however many you put on the one creature. Nope. I don't care about anything else. Look up a quote real quick. Nibbler. That's what I get for not looking well entirely. Making sure that this was part of that quote. Go away. Dawn and Noble. Oh wait, no, let's not make her a commander yet. So, the reason why we're looking at this, and we do not want it to be a foil, thank you very much, is I don't think she was the companion for any deck. I just kind of like her. Oh, that's a Santarin on the ground. Man, Donna kicked butt. So she has Soulbound, which means that when she enters play, or when another creature enters play, you can Soulbound, and you can only be Soulbound to one creature at a time, I think. Whenever Donna or a creature it's paired with is dealt damage, Donna deals damage, that much damage to target opponent. I saw a deck Maulhound reviewed that had this as one of the commanders, I think, and I just want to see what I can do with it, because I didn't actually. I listen to his stuff. I don't like watch it actively. He's a second screen kind of thing. Because he has a good voice for talking. And he says Magic the Gathering words. So, you know, that it's great just to have going to distract my brain. The Doc 4. So we'll want one of the doctors with green in it. C, G. Okay, good. Oh, you know what? We could do one of her canon,
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Show me how to make thunder.
do one of her
Buy
canon
or rent new
appearances.
releases and get more streaming channels to watch your
We can do
favorites
regular
on YouTube.
Wikipedia, that's fine. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, she was a companion of 10 and 14. Okay, that's actually very handy. She began on the Runaway Bride Christmas special. That's mildly interesting. So 10 and 14. So this gives us a 4-color deck. But the thing is that when you cast a spell, reveal the top 14 cards of your library. All doctors go to your hand, or go to your graveyard, and the rest go at the bottom. You may have the 14th Doctor enter as the battlefield as a copy of a Doctor in your graveyard that was put there from your library this turn. If you do, it gains haste on end of turn. Absolute nonsensical garbage. I wanted green because that had Enrage, and that was kind of on theme. So this might only be a 2-color deck. I don't know why I did that. That did not help me. So this is our first only 2-color deck. Whenever you attack, exile cards from the top of the library until you exile a non-land card. 3 time counters, doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. And then we can time travel a bunch. Okay, so what other kinds of things? Hate. I mean, we can put a bunch of his other companions in here. At least the ones that fit the color. There are other cards that, of course, that are going to go in here.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the
Like,
YouTube Music app all together.
We're going to call them
1 month
kindred
free.
spirits when we get to them. So which Clara Oswald hadn't shown up yet. Martha Jones shows up. lot of these don't have cards or are white mana. Oh, that's actually kind of neat. When Martha Jones enters the battlefield, we investigate. Whenever we sacrifice a clue, Martha and up to one other target creature can't be blocked this turn. She's really good. Personality, appearance. Here, SET, WHO, just to look for stuff that feels like it fits. An Unearthly Child is actually the name of the very first episode, I believe, because they're talking about Perry. The Arctic. They first show up, and under which doctors? Which doctor? Oh well, that's right. They are very early.
Check out Directed by Takashi Miike.
They do
The new
appear
video from the
in
weekend on YouTube, your
a 10th
one-stop shop for
Doctor
music.
story. That's what matters. And this is why Chaos Warp, even though it's the 12th Doctor, still gets to make it in here. There's the 10th Doctors. That's the 10th Doctor. This is called Filler. Cyber conversion is just kind of good removal. Okay, this guy's not a Doctor's companion, but I don't know. Don't know who he appeared for. Ah, boyfriend of Clara Oswald. Oh, he's the guy that gets turned into a Cyberman. So he is in a... Oh, he's a 12th Doctor. What's this one? Trouble. Topher Moore and Alex Elena. It's a pretty fun little ditty. Blink. I think that's... Nope, that's 10th. I was wrong. Oh, that's a wild piece of removal. Delete. Sorry, I'm looking at something got my eye. Flesh, I'm fairly certain was an 11th Doctor. Yes. Not exactly casting from anywhere other than our hand. Oh, what the heck does it even do? Oh, I guess we are, because we can suspend stuff. And so I'm not even looking. I just like Flaming Tyrannosaurus. Frostfair Lurefish. I don't even care where this one's from. I don't care that it's a bad card. Fish we control have haste and can't be blocked by humans. Don't care. It's... Oh, Gallifrey. Counselor Chamber. As well. Heaven Sent is someone else's deal. Sorry. Family. Who wrecked their day? Was it 10 or 11?
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and YouTube Music Premium.
10th Doctor.
Try 1 month free.
Oh wait, he messed them up good for the record. Like, that was some dark vindictive stuff. We'll do this. We'll also do this, but also remember that we should put a lot more than 4. Add his new card. And then when we get out of here, the Greaves, the Mind Stone. Just click this. Oh, that was a 9th Doctor. Oh, right, because everybody lives. Cemetery. Not worth it. Path of Ancestry. Propaganda. He does meet her, but that's kind of the end of her story. RMS Titanic. Who's... Oh, that was 10th Doctor, because Astrid Peth. We'll throw this in here for fun. I don't remember. We'll go with the 14th screwdriver just to be different, even though it's $38, but you know. The Centaurans appeared during his time. Fires of Pompeii. That is a 10th Doctor, yep. What the heck are these things called? Okay, actually, I don't think I'm logged into Moxfield on this browser. Oh, I did. Okay, good. There's one specific deck over here. Who dis? Because they're kind of, I don't know how I got this information for the record, and it kind of shows the first appearance of a lot of things and not the later ones. No, I guess it does show repeated stuff. Oh, As Foretold can go in here. Apparently the 500-year diary makes another appearance. Oh, the refrain. Oh, hey, propaganda actually goes in here. Oh, he used the psychic paper. Oh, we can also do the rotating fireplace. Hold on, let us go back. Oh, but I was seeing if Solemn exists for him. No. Okay. Oh, the flood exists for him. That's cool. And the sound of drums. Oh, and Time Beetle. Okay, so we are going to go back to the beginning. We weren't that far in. Alright, As Foretold is an old card. I like the anime ones because I like anime. But Doctor Who gets Doctor Who. Not a big fan of Commander Sphere, but then again, this deck isn't going to have the same breadth of ramp selection, so we may as well. And as you can see, I break my own rules when I feel at it, but I don't always feel like it. Psychic paper gets to go in. If I felt like it, Reliquary Tower would make it in, but I don't think the deck needs it. This does get us time travel as at sorcery speed. Everybody gets the TARDIS, 'cause everybody is the Doctor. Time travel, draw a card, or whatnot. Oh, he's dealt with Zygons. Truth or consequences. Not on his list. Time Beetle. Thought Vessel. Okay, enchanted creatures, goaded. If enchanted creature would deal combat damage to a permanent player, it deals double that damage instead. And we can return it from our graveyard to our hand. Sure. This is another easy cut for the record. And you feel bad for the master once you get that particular piece of lore. And I'm just double checking the Who lands. And hopefully this longer one makes up for a lot of the shorter ones that happened. I just want to make sure all the ones with color made it through, and we're only at 45. That's fine. In fact, that's good. We're at 11 lands, but finicky. Okay, now we're at 27, so we just need 10 more lands. So all of the unless lands. And this so we can get the different duels. Eight more lands. Oh, actually we don't need. There's the steam vents. Let's be picky about printings. Oh, I like this one. You're pretty. Boom. Okay. Seven more lands. Just changing how I'm sitting. And go over to land base. Cycles. There's the Shivan Reef, the Cascade Bluffs. There's a bounce land. And we'll grab the surveil one. The Verge. I was looking for ones that were already in the deck because a different printing was in the deck. Five more. You can't see me, but I'm holding up fingers now to so I don't have to keep checking. A useless Cascade Bluff, unless we have more. Unless we have a land that actually produces the color we use. Shivan Reef to deal with ourselves damage, because that's always a good idea. The bounce one. So, 35? Yep, okay. Had to double check to make sure I didn't miss myself doing anything. Oh, what? Sorry, scratching my hair. There's one that was at the edge of my brain and I'm trying to track it down. is now. It didn't appear here, but I know what it is now for one of them. The other one is going to be this, because it's proxying the one that's from, you know, the original sets, the original duel. That's how I roll. This one, to where if we have at least 5 mountains, 6 total mountains, 5 other mountains. Wow, this card assumed you'd have a way of turning this Valakut into a mountain somehow. But yeah, but you lightning bolt when you start playing mountains. Like, I know that means I should probably put more of the mountain dual lands in here, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just a funny thing, and that's where you upgrade the deck, by either taking it out or adding more dual land mountains, even though they'll come into play tapped. Okay, so now we go over here. We click up here because we're done down here. We go to Scryfall. We go to Donna Noble because there is there is a thing, and I don't know Scryfall Tagger. There we go. Spiked damage. So is this what is called an O tag? We will check. Boom. O tag. Spite / dash damage. So we get the Brash Taunter. And then we find the one we like best, which honestly is the original M21 one, if we're being honest. Murders of Karlov Manor, and then in Duskmorn. Yeah, I don't know, I like this. I just like the vibe of this one. Oh, whoops. One of our equipped creatures dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. It does equip for 4, and yeah. Fiend Lash. That equips for 3. Okay, that's not really good. The ill-tempered loner, though. Yes. And then fancy printings. Go over here. Add that. Oh. Magma Pummeler. Nah, that's an investment. Stuffy Doll only hits a specific one. Biteful Sliver. Oh, Screaming Nemesis is the evil version of this. That's worth an extra $1. Whoops. I don't know. Ding. Hiya. We're being delayed a little bit. I'm gonna sit here for a minute. Oh, my music stopped again. Or should I say everybody's music stopped again? Because it's public domain. Atlanta by the Jingle Pongs, for the record. And then we gotta do this one more time. We scroll down. Oh wow. Did it not save my brash taunter? It did not save the entire Kindred Spirit set. Okay, so you in here. Kept the it kept some things, but not other things. Screaming Nemesis. Pain for all? Oh, Pain for all is good. Fog Maniac might be a little weak for it. Wrathful Red Dragon may be the only dragon in the deck, but that's good enough for its ability, if I'm being honest. Because it affects its spite, but for all of your dragons. But since it itself is a dragon, that's all that really matters. Honestly, same thing for the Raptors. You know what? This ugly Cooper that I am going to use. Oh wait, that is Tempest Remastered and online only. We'll use the slightly cheaper version from the list. You just throw it in front of a big thing that doesn't have trample.
Stream hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
You know, we'll even do the Spiteful Sliver.
Get Paramount Plus and more streaming channels to watch your favorites on YouTube.
You know, even the Stuffy Doll. We'll do Patchwork Chucky. She would smack me in the face. We are at 80. And this definitely looks nothing like the deck they built. Because I'm pretty sure I put in a lot of garbage for my own amusement. Oh, sneeze. Ow! Ooh. The way that activates the muscles in the hurty part of my back. Okay, so we are going to Creature Order CMC Destruct. We are at 18 creatures, so I'm not too worried. Ooh, scratching my back. I'm checking things in places really quick while it's in my brain. I don't want to put anything with like really high mana values in here because if they get 10th doctored, that would put a real damper on basically everything, and that sounds just absolutely awful. What's my ramp section? I actually managed to get 10 pieces of ramp, although 5 of them don't count because of their mana value. But I do want these indestructible creatures. I realized that making the 10th Doctor unblockable is probably a good idea. I will worry about that. I'm actually going to look over here for creatures really quick just to see if I get any ideas. River Song, Sinister, Concierge. What do you do? Oh, time counters. The Fletch was someone else's story. Sphinx of the Second Son is a little expensive.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together. Uninterrupted videos and an app made just for music. YouTube Premium.
I will worry about time counters in a minute. When you cast a spell from exile, cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. So actually, we're going to ignore my previous search and do that. Quicker than typing ever. Graveyard. Actually, no. We'll do that as the slightly more expensive version of Nalfshni. Spider-Verse is like these, only it's not a creature and you don't have to sacrifice your permanents. Oh, Passionate Archaeologist. Except we want to take off the foil. And we'll also do that, because that seems cool. Even if it's $20. The Rift Elemental. Well, Millennium Calendar gets time counters too. That is mildly interesting. Those are all the time counter things I actually cared about. We're at 24 total creatures. I'm kind of fine with that for now. I would like to move to my removal. One of these is awful. Okay. Okay, there's one instant I want to put in. That's Reality Shift. That's this bad boy. Looks like they're being deleted out of a video game is the one we're going to go with. Eaten by piranhas, fresh start. Mystic Subdual, Noggle the Mind. Whoops. Noggle the Mind. Utter insignificance. And Amphibian down 4 because it has Storm. So these are all spells with Flash that enchant a creature, and that creature gets some kind of thing, or becomes a smaller creature, and loses all abilities. And that's my blue removal. I was thinking that you could do it with bounce, but then I learned these cards existed. I'm like, oh, this is way better. There's also the mean card. Excuse me again. Oh, it's imprisoned in the moon. It does not have flash. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it had a, or forgot that it had a old border. It's an enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchant permanent as a colorless land with tap to add colorless, and loses other card types and abilities. That's like the sorcery speed commander killer. What are we at? We're at 93. Well, we're doing more removal. Mortars. Delayed Blast Fireball. Aether Eyes. And Aether Spouts. Noggle the Mind hasn't been properly tagged. Now we're at 3 cards. And both Cascade and Suspend is casting from exile, if I recall correctly. 3? Oh. Brotherhood Regalia. Whisper Silk Cloak. Move the Whisper Silk Cloak to its correct location. There we go. That is 100. grab the link. And the 10th Doctor is already here. So I need to type that again. So, next week we start looking at what I think I described as the least interesting decks to look at. Typo decks, because supposedly they build themselves. If you have the time and patience to parse what's supposedly the best, best in slot cards for your type. So I guess the interest really will be just what typos did I feel like making decks for. I think that's going to be the thing. Oh wow, this was almost 4 hours. Wild. See you next time.